Yes, that is a real score in the NFL. The Dolphins did drop 70 points on the Broncos today. Something straight out of Madden. Like, the Dolphins were playing on rookie mode, straight out of Madden, and they just absolutely walloped the Broncos. Wild game for the Dolphins, and just an absolutely pathetic game for the Broncos. Vance Joseph needs to be fired, and they should probably try to trade some people and try to get some draft picks, because, man, right off the rip, the Dolphins started with the ball. It took them 3 plays to get in the end zone. They start out with a nice run, and then a nice pass to Durham Smith, who got flipped over on his head. Kind of funny, but really nice catch by him. And then a wide open deep bomb to Tyreek Hill. Two people decided to cover Robbie Anderson, or Robbie Chosen, formerly known as Robbie Anderson. But anyway, they had two guys on him when there should have been at least one guy on Hill. And they just end up leaving Hill just wide open for an easy touchdown. After that, I just knew it was going to be a long game. Especially after when the Broncos got the ball for their first drive, they did nothing. They really did not do anything. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be a long game immediately. On the Broncos' first drive, they threw it deep to Sutton, and he could have had a nice little toe tap catch. Like, it could have been a catch. The announcers are saying it could have possibly been a catch, but they didn't challenge it. They didn't fight for that or anything. They just let it be called not a catch. And it could have been a catch. It could have been a nice catch. It looked like it might have been, but ultimately it wasn't a catch. So that kind of sucked for the Broncos early on. Cortland actually had a good day, all things considered. Like, besides those two fumbles that Cortland had, he did have a nice day. 8 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know why it spells his name as Cohen Sutton right there. That's kind of weird. But anyway, he had a great day, I think. If he just didn't have those fumbles, of course. Both those fumbles came at bad times. That was bad. Everything for the Broncos was just going bad. Especially the defense. Like, that defense, look at this. They just let Devon Chain go off. Like, this dude had 18 carries for 203 yards, couple touchdowns. Devon Chain was freaking putting in work. Him and Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert had 3 touchdowns. This running game was running all over the Broncos. Like, straight up, the Broncos just need to fire Vance Joseph, get rid of him now, and just start trading pieces away. Good job, though, Dolphins. This run game was really fun to watch, actually. Well, it wasn't. I wanted the Broncos to stop them. But if you think on the bright side, it was at least some good football from the Dolphins. And just very poor football from the Broncos, which they need to fix. Because 3-0 right here is a rough start. Or, I mean, 0-3. But good on the Dolphins. They're 3-0. 0-3 is a rough start, for sure. This Dolphins team is just loaded, if you think about it. They did this to the Broncos without Jalen Waddle. Can you imagine if Jalen Waddle was in there? Like, look at this. Chosen Anderson got a touchdown. Raheem Mostert actually did catch a touchdown as well, so he had 4 total touchdowns. And of course, Tyreek just went off. I swear, the Broncos defense did not show up to play at all. They don't have Justin Simmons or Caden Stearns though, so their best safeties are Kareem Jackson and Delarian Turner-Yell. And so they went after Delarian Turner-Yell a lot, and he kind of just gave up a lot of plays. And then Kareem Jackson, he's just not the same as he used to be. Damari Mathis getting burned. They didn't have any sacks in the game at all. Just all around for this Broncos defense, bad head coaching, bad play on the defense, everyone's still young, people getting burned. I saw so many people not even fully try on tackles or like wrap up. They keep trying to lead with their shoulders. I remember being preached, like drilled into my head, wrap up, all that. But no, nobody seems to wrap up on the Broncos. They straight up just need to trade like everybody besides Patrick or just whoever they could get draft capital for. And look at this defense right here. You see all these names, right? You know who you don't see? Randy Gregory. Where was Randy Gregory? He played. Where was Randy Gregory? The only thing Randy Gregory did of note was draw a freaking offsides penalty. I still think that was a bad contract giving Randy Gregory all that. Maybe they could trade him, but I don't know if any team would even want him at this point. It sucks that the Broncos offense got a little bit better at the cost of the Broncos defense getting 10 times worse. Like the Broncos defense used to be the best part of the team, and now look at them. For once, this game was not on Russell Wilson. It looked like he was actually playing good out there. He did kind of have a pretty bad interception, but I mean, it still really wasn't his fault that the Dolphins scored 70 points. The Dolphins do have a really good offense, though. Tua Tagovailoa looks really legit. I don't know if it's just because the Broncos defense is bad right now, or if Tua is legit, but I think he actually really is for sure because he looked really good out there. Making all the right plays. He was 16 for 16 at one point. I actually really wanted Tua to break the record because Ryan Tannehill was 18 for 18 straight completions. Like, the record is having 18 straight completions, you know? And Tua, he got to 17. He was at 17 straight completions, and he missed it. He missed it by one catch. I really wanted him to get it. Even though I'm a Broncos fan, I was actually like, you know what? This defense is so bad. Just let Tua have it. Break the record. Screw it. The Dolphins could have actually broke 2 records in this game. Tua could have broke that record, and if they would have kicked a field goal at the end and scored 73, that would have broke another record, having the most points ever in a game. So, oh yeah, that should show you how bad this defense was. And just how dominant this offense was for the Dolphins. Like, if you're a Dolphins fan, I would be so hyped. Your running game is moving. You have people behind Jalen Waddle to catch the ball. And then you always got Tyreek Hill in there going to get you 100 yards a game. This freaking, oh dude, so loaded. I love this Dolphins team. I can't even be mad. And who knows when Jalen Ramsey will be back. I haven't caught up with that. But the Dolphins and the 49ers, 2 stacked teams. And Mike McDaniel, great head coach. Funny guy. And honorable, because he could have got that record, but he decided to kneel it out instead of kicking the field goal. Good on him, because I probably would have kicked the field goal if it was me. I guess in Madden. I guess if in Madden, that's like when you kick the field goal. But it felt like Madden alright. That's what everyone's saying. The only cool thing that the Broncos defense did this game was hold them on a 4th and 1 attempt. The Dolphins were trying to run it a couple times with their fullback, and then they ran it up just again. And the Broncos sniffed it out. Alex Singleton ran up the middle, stopping that. And that was a nice play. 4th and 1, turnover on downs. But you want to know what the Broncos did after getting the ball? Nothing. They did absolutely nothing, and they had to punt it away. It was bad. That was for like the only thing cool that the Broncos did. They didn't get any sacks or interceptions, like I said. And they let Tyreek Hill get 100 of his yards in the first half. Off of 5 catches. So, pretty bad. All in all, just fire Vance Joseph. Get him out of there early. Get him out of there now. One thing about Russell Wilson's stats, though, he should have 2 more touchdowns. 2 passes that he threw into the end zone that should have been touchdowns were called back due to penalties. So, he should have 2 more touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for the Broncos got wiped off. Not like it would have mattered. Not like 2 more touchdowns would have mattered. But it would have looked a little better on the stat line. Better than 70-20, you know. Oh, one cool thing, too, though, with this. Marvin Mims, they had another deep shot. I think at least every game you got to take deep shots to Marvin Mims. It was a nice 38-yard catch. He set him up 1st and goal. And you know what they did there during that 1st and goal? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Straight up, just amazing play by Marvin Mims. Nice 38-yard gain and just nothing really to show for it. Unfortunate. That's kind of what the Broncos do. Something really good followed by something pretty bad. And then they always got to settle for field goals. I think Broncos are in love with field goals. The amount of field goals they hit, insane. If you could ever bet on the Broncos making a field goal a game, take it. Because they're always going to make at least one field goal a game. Or have to settle for one. If you look at the team stats, this is pretty wild. 726 total yards for the Dolphins. That is a fat load of yards right there. 376 passing yards, 350 rushing yards, average of 10.2 yards a play. That is an insane team stat line. They walloped the Broncos. Look, Broncos only had 69 rushing yards. What the heck? I started Javonte Williams in fantasy. I don't know why I did. I had Dameon Pierce on the bench for some reason and started Javonte. I don't know what I was thinking. The Broncos only put up 69 rushing yards. They were supposed to be a rushing team this year, man. I was so hyped to see Javonte and Samaje, both those guys, just tear it up. And Jaleel McLaughlin. They gave Jaleel McLaughlin 5 carries, but it wasn't at like the right times. It was kind of like odd times or like very late. They they're not using their running backs as well as I thought they would. Jerry Jeudy did have a quietly nice game though. He was picking up some nice plays. I really like these three guys at receiver, but if they're not going to utilize the running game right or actually be able to get things going, then it just doesn't work out. We need that running game to be working. Samaje Perine needs more carries. Jaleel needs to be used at better times. And they should just try to focus the run game maybe like a little bit more. They can never get anything going. While on the other hand, Dolphins are dropping over 300 yards rushing. Another thing that is bad is penalties. The Broncos have had over 20 penalties in 3 games. That is hurting them so bad because it always puts them in 3rd and long, or it wipes off a touchdown, or it's like something at the worst time. They get or like Randy Gregory always getting a penalty and Frank Clark. They need to stop the penalties. The Dolphins, I guess, have 18 penalties in 3 games, but these penalties, I guess for both teams, they gotta knock them off. Just especially the Broncos. They are in 3rd and long, I feel like, so much. Look at that, 12 third downs, and most of them were like 3rd and long. And that's just what the Broncos love, is being in a 3rd down and long, and only picking up 4 of them. Remember back when the 49ers were picking up 3rd down after 3rd down after 3rd down after creative play after creative play? Where was the creativity on offense there? There really wasn't any. I guess the Broncos don't really have a Deebo Samuel type either. But they got enough weapons that they should be doing something. And then no sacks again. The pass rush is a problem. Cortland Sutton's 2 lost fumbles. That sucked. Dang, the time of possession was actually pretty close. 33 minutes and 21 seconds for the Dolphins. 26 minutes, 39 seconds for the Broncos. That's crazy. The Dolphins had the ball for 7 minutes more than the Broncos, and they managed to get 50 more points than them. How is that possible? In 7 minutes, you got 50 more points. And the whole game, you get 70. Oh, man, I'm kind of really glad they didn't get the record for the most game. Or for the most points scored in a game. Because that would have just been crazy. I mean, like, you know what? I wish they would have got it. Because then we would have witnessed true history. We already are a part of history with that game. Tua Tagovailoa did a no-look shuttle pass for a touchdown. Like, they brought Tyreek on an end around, and Tua was just staring him down, acting like he was going to give him the ball, but then he no-look shuttle passed it to Raheem Mostert for an easy touchdown. And the Broncos defense looking lost out there. That was a nice play, I couldn't lie. Made me a little sad, but it was a nice play. All in all, we truly did witness history today, folks. It sucks that the Broncos had to be on the losing end of history there, but hey, I guess it's still cool either way to be a part of it. Good job, Dolphins. They are 3-0. I'm pretty sure they're going to go really far this season. I'm rooting for you, but of course I'm rooting for the Broncos more. The Dolphins will probably go further though, definitely the playoffs. They're 100% a playoff team. While the Broncos on the other hand probably just need to rebuild. Blow it up. That defense, trade everybody besides PS2 and Justin Simmons. Keep them 2 and trade everybody. Anybody who has value. If you have to get rid of Justin Simmons, I guess maybe, but I really want to see him stay at least another season. Because the Broncos safeties are really bad right now. And Kareem Jackson, this is probably definitely his last year. And we just don't have any safeties. They need to sign a safety or something. Rebuild that whole defense. Actually, the Broncos just need to rebuild that entire team, to be honest. Like, they got some nice core pieces, but they just need to completely tear it down and just rebuild, do something. Keep Sean Payton for another year or 2 and just completely rebuild the team. And just see what happens. And maybe they'll not tank this year, but maybe they'll lose enough games, get a nice high pick that won't go to the Seahawks. And maybe they'll actually draft right. The Broncos really need to hit their draft picks. Need to hit on their draft picks because, man, they have missed on a lot of guys. Speaking of first-round draft picks, it sucked to see Bradley Chubb as a Dolphin. And he disrupted a couple plays. That sucked. But yeah, anyway, Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. This has been the breakdown of the sad game, Dolphins over Broncos. I just can't believe the Dolphins dropped 70 points on the Broncos. I thought the Broncos were going to lose, but come on, not 70-20. Like, who would have guessed 70-20? Not me. Certainly not me. I knew the defense was weaker, but just nuts. Absolutely brutal. But yeah, either way, thank y'all again for watching. Stay tuned for the next videos, more breakdowns, more shorts, more live streams, more all that. All that football stuff coming straight to your screen, or I guess whatever. So yeah, just look out for all that. Appreciate y'all again. Stay tuned. Later. I still think the Broncos might have a chance to beat the Chiefs at least once.